Now let us talk about implementing the various operations that we defined for Q as the abstract data type. So if you remember, we had four operations mainly, right? We had to add and delete, we had to create new, and empty or full. So total 5 operations. And we said that we are going to implement our Q with underlying array to store the values. Okay, so now let's have a detailed algorithm. So first of all, I'm going to create a new queue, create new, and I'm going to specify the capacity for this particular queue. Okay, so inside this, what I need to do is I'm going to store all my data in an array A, which is the data element inside my queue, and I'm going to encode the entry time in terms of the index value in array, and count is going to keep track of how many elements are there in my queue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this array A dot create new of the capacity. This will create, and I'm going to keep track of how many elements I have. Currently it is empty, so I will say that the count is equal to 0, and then I'm done. I'm going to close this block. That's how I will create my new queue. And then we have to check if our queue is empty. So I will ask question is empty. It won't receive any input. All it has to do is check the value of count. Okay, so if the value of my count is equal to 0, it means that my queue is empty. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return true is empty, right? So it is true that my queue is empty, and then I'm done with this conditional block. Otherwise, what I should do is I should return false. And then I'm done with this else part, and then I'm finished with my is empty function. And then similarly I will have the function which will be is full, and there the only difference will be, instead of comparing with 0, I will compare it with the capacity of my queue. So I leave that to you as a homework to do. And now let's try to write the pseudocode for the main operations, add and delete. So if I'm going to have add operation on my queue, it has to receive input as a value. Let's check if that's the way we define the function. So add was getting value as input, fine. So now it gets a value as input. The first thing that we should check is whether there is capacity in our queue to accommodate a new element. Okay? So first thing we should check is if it is true that my queue is full. So it's full, I will call, and then if it is true that my queue is indeed full, this condition happens to be true, in that case what should I do? I should return an error. And that's where this conditional block ends. And now if I come here, I'm sure that my queue is not full. There is enough capacity available in my queue to store the next element. So what I'm going to do is that in my underlying array A, I'm going to set the element at index count, and I'm going to send the value to store there. Okay, that's how it will work. And then I will increment the value of count by 1. So I will say count plus plus, that is count equal to count plus 1, to reflect the addition. And then I'm done with the add function. And similarly we will have the delete function. So delete function will not receive any input. What it will do is it will simply return the element that was added first. So what I should do is first check if my queue is empty. So ask question if is empty true. Okay, if that's the case, in that case what should I do? I should return error, because if queue is empty, you cannot delete anything from the queue. So we are going to return error if this is true. Okay, and then we are done with the conditional, and if we come out of this and we are here, it means that our queue is not empty and we should return the element 0. So I will say that my answer is equal to a dot access element, right? So now again we'll say that access element at position 0. So now I got my answer and I can return it. But before that, what I need to do is I have to shift all the elements. So now I need to write a looping construct. I have to loop through all the remaining elements to shift them one by one. So I will have a loop. Let's call it a for loop. It will start from let's call it index equal to 1, and this index should be less than the capacity of the queue. No, it should be less than the count. It should be less than or equal to count. Remember, when we have just one element in our queue, the value of count is 1. Okay, in that case, if you delete that one element, then there is nothing to do here. Okay, so what we should have is our index should be less than count. Okay, so this equal to should not be there. So here we have index less than count, and then there is some bookkeeping operation to do. We'll look at it later. Okay, so and that's where my loop starts. Okay, and now I'm coming one tab inside, and what should I write there? What I should do is I should point to the element at index, so, and I should copy it to index -1. So what I should do is a, and now I'll use this typical array notation again from C++. Instead of every time writing access element or set element, a and index -1, this should be overwritten with a index. So this will shift all the values from, say, slot 1 to slot 0, slot 2 to slot 1, and so on. And that's all that we need, right? All the shifting, and then we are done. And after that, we should reduce the, and here we should increment the index by 1 every time. So we should have index ++ as our bookkeeping operation. And once we are done with this loop, we should reduce the value of count by 1 to indicate that one element has been removed. So we should say that count minus, and then we should return the answer. And that's how our delete should look like. And then we should come one tab out and close this. Okay, so that's how our delete operation should look like. Of course, this is not the most efficient implementation, but this is the naive implementation. This is our first version, and let's try to analyze the complexity. Here we are performing constant number of operations, so this is θ1. Here we are just comparing the values, so again this is θ1, and similarly for is full we will have constant number of operations, so that will be also θ1. For add, we are checking if it is full, that requires constant amount of time, and then we are setting the value, and we are assuming that the way data structure array is implemented, set element can be performed in constant amount of time. So the total time complexity of this function is θ1. And for delete operation, well, this particular part can be performed in constant amount of time. However, this looping construct, if there are n elements in my queue, it requires of the order of n time. So that's why the time complexity of the delete function, the current implementation, it is θn. Okay, so that's about the pseudocode for 5 operations of our queue abstract data type. In the next video, we'll see if there is a better way, or there is more efficient way to implement these operations.